Today's courtroom drama features a defendant caught in a cycle of criminal behavior, facing the possibility of prison time and trying to walk the fine line between redemption and responsibility. Meet Gabriel Smith, whose theft charges have escalated to a deadly encounter with a police officer. What began as a simple shoplifting charge took a dark turn, and now Gabriel is about to face the full consequences. But there's more. This case isn't just about the theft. It's about the law's ability to hold repeat offenders accountable, and how the court weighs criminal history against potential for change. With a history of thefts, a plea bargain on the table, and the risk of jail time looming, Gabriel's fate will be sealed by the judge's decision. Will mercy be granted, or will the past catch up with him? Stay tuned as we break down this explosive courtroom moment filled with twists, tough choices, and a dramatic sentence.
Okay, you're Gabriel Smith, and this is 25 DCCR 0979. There was originally a plea for a cap of 5 years that I rejected. There was new plea entered of a cap of 8 years, and we reset it for sentencing just for you guys to get anything together that you needed. I did not order an updated report or anything just because she's been in custody. And so is everyone ready to go forward with sentencing?
That's right.
Let's break this down. The judge originally rejected a 5-year cap on sentencing, then agreed to an 8-year cap, signaling that Gabriel Smith's criminal history is going to play a major role in his fate. But what does this cap mean? A sentencing cap limits how much time a defendant can be given. So even though Gabriel could face up to 8 years, the judge's decision still leaves room for consideration of past offenses and the current charge. But here's the kicker. With Gabriel's history of theft convictions, the judge must decide whether to show leniency or hand down a harsher punishment. Do you think his past should affect his sentence today, or is it time for a fresh start?
I think it's an 8-year cap.
What did I say?
8 years.
Oh, 8-year cap. Yes, I'm sorry. And so, Mr. Kimler, you may proceed.
Your Honor, the court previously refused a 5-year cap, so I'd say the court's probably inclined to give her somewhere between 6 and 8 years on this. I think Ms. Smith recognizes the error of what she did. She's attempting to try to remediate that in her own thinking. I understand she is going to have to do some time on this, but I think that she regrets what happened, and hopefully not engaged in the type of conduct that caused us to occur. It was a theft case that went awry when the officer was attempting to stop her. She didn't.
This case isn't just about shoplifting. The officer's injury is the real turning point. Gabriel's attempt to flee escalated from a petty theft to a dangerous interaction with law enforcement. And it's a miracle that the officer wasn't more seriously hurt. The judge acknowledges that this started as a simple shoplifting case, but things went awry quickly. Gabriel's actions could have led to much worse, and the court has to weigh that in its decision. Would you give Gabriel a second chance, or is the risk of hurting someone too great to ignore? This is the moment where public safety meets personal consequences.
Really approach the officer and initiate some sort of contact with him. It was an unfortunate incident where, and I'm not contesting her culpability for her guilt, but where the officer reached into the vehicle and the vehicle moved forward, injuring the officer. So, yeah, obviously, if the court repeats 5, the court's inclined because of her criminal history to go to 6 to 8. We would just argue for 6 at the lower end. I know she has extensive criminal history, but she wanted to address the court as well. Is that right? What do you have to say for yourself?
I apologize for the situation that went on, and I wish that anybody that was involved in the case would see that I'm really serious, and to whatever you give me, I thank you for that.
This is an emotional moment. Gabriel offers a sincere apology, recognizing the gravity of what he's done. But here's the question. Is it too little, too late? Apologies in court are not just about saying, "I'm sorry." They're about accountability and recognizing the harm caused. Gabriel claims to regret his actions, but does the court believe it? After all, this isn't the first time he's made such promises. This is a tough one. Can the court truly rely on his change, or is this just another chapter in a long history of thefts? What would you do in the judge's shoes?
Okay, thank you. Ms. Malvino?
Judge, I think 8 is probably still too low based on the criminal history, but I would agree with Mr. Kimler that the underlying nature of the offense started out as a simple shoplifting case. It obviously went well awry. She could have injured the officer even more so. That being said, in combination with her criminal history, it's not simply just a shoplifting case, and I think she deserves, at the very least, a full rate.
So, Ms. Smith, the thing is, your theft convictions they start back in, it looks like 2007. And you've got a full page of page and a half of misdemeanor thefts on this pre-sentence report, where you were put in the parish jail, and then you proceeded to keep doing it, so they started adding up to felonies. You had probations that were revoked on 4 different theft cases that were misdemeanors that ended up as felonies, that ended up with you going to prison. 5 years it looks like you got 5 years in 2016, 3 years in 2017, and then another year in 2018 in prison for the same thing, shoplifting. And this one, you're shoplifting and you end up climbing in your car, and I mean, just what went on with you and that officer is ridiculous, because you're trying to steal again, and now you end up hurting an officer in the process of them trying to stop you from stealing again. I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and in cause number 23, DCCR 1034, find you guilty of robbery. Sentence you to a term of 8 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You do receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. I am going to hand you the trial court certification that shows this was an agreement I followed, so you waived your right to appeal. I've also handed you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition.
And here it is, the judge's decision. Despite Gabriel's apology and attempts to show remorse, the judge is firm in his sentencing. 8 years in prison. But with a twist, Gabriel's sentence will be probated for 5 years, meaning he can avoid serving time if he follows the court's rules. But there's a catch. Failure to comply with probation means the full 8 years in prison. This is where tough love meets second chances. The court gives him a chance, but the stakes are high. One mistake could land him back in jail. This decision shows that mercy is possible, but only if the defendant proves he can stick to the rules. Do you think this is fair? Should Gabriel get another shot, or is a harsher sentence warranted?
Because of the judgment entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you. Be sure to read that written admonishment I provided you to see what devices qualify as a firearm. If you have questions about it or how long it lasts, you can talk with Mr. Kimler.
The wrong case number.
I did.
You went on the robbery, and we actually entered the plea on the assault.
Sorry. 25 DCCR 0979 finds you guilty of assault. So I will withdraw the finding of guilt on robbery, find you guilty of assault on a peace officer. And all of the rest applies as far as the sentence and the cause number, again, 25 DCCR 0979, correct? Thank you.
I just said on the record, she wanted to make sure it's not aggravated. This is not aggravated.
No, it's non-aggravated.
Okay.
All right. And we have to have that discovery certification today because the case is going to get to close down.
Not again, you never gave it to me.
Well, I mean, when she first pled.
So do I?
You didn't
I
give
need you
it.
to give me a
Still got the credit for me being in here on this.
Yes, all the credit that you were in, any time that you were on this case and there was a hold on you or you were in our custody, you get credit. Okay?
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
In summary, Gabriel Smith's case highlights the difficult balance between punishment and second chances. Despite his criminal history, he's given a shot at redemption through probation, but only if he follows the rules. The judge's decision to probate his sentence is a reminder that the court system is designed to offer opportunities for change, but only when defendants are willing to take responsibility for their actions. If you found this case as shocking as we did, Make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns. You won't want to miss what happens next.